If you've ever watched Peppa Pig, you know this show is packed with unanswered mysteries that have been around for over 20 years. But do you really know all the secrets surrounding Peppa's family? Aunt Eevie. The biggest mystery involving the pig family is starting to blow up the internet. Have you heard of Aunt Eevie? Yes, exactly that. This name already existed in the show before Peppa's new baby sister was even born, but no one even knew who the first Eevie was. So, who is she? The new baby in the pig family is named Evie Pig, and many fans thought her parents chose that name simply because it sounded cute, but there may be another reason behind it. The name Evie means life, and keep that in mind because it's going to be important later. On top of that, Mummy Pig wanted to honor her great aunt, Aunt Eevie, who lived many years ago. During the family's interview on the British morning show Good Morning Britain, we saw a photo of this character who's never been in the show before, wearing a long gown and some jewelry, looking just like a princess. Could she have been someone important? This character lived a long time ago and was probably a childhood friend of Madame Gazelle and her husband, but it's still unclear if Aunt Eevie ever studied under Peppa's teacher. What we do know is that Aunt Eevie was probably very important in Mummy Pig's life, and maybe even in the history of England. We'll get to that in a bit, so go grab your popcorn because it's time for another Cinewave episode, Royal Family. If you check out the news reports about Evie Pig's birth, you'll notice some clues hinting that she might actually be a princess. On May 20th, 2025, every major TV channel in the UK reported the news, showing a royal messenger on the streets of London announcing that Evie had been born. Why would they use an actual royal herald for that? Later, we found out that Evie was born in the same place where the princes of England were born, St. Mary's Hospital. Why would a little piglet have such an important birthplace? That same day, we also found out that the pig family has an official crest. That's a clear sign that this pig family is extremely important, since only very powerful families have symbols like that. Look closely. The crest includes a dinosaur representing George, a teddy bear for Peppa, a puddle of mud, and a little duck, the same one from Peppa's official website. Now we understand why Aunt Eevie was dressed like a princess in that old photo. She was a part of the royal family, and Peppa's new baby sister was named after her because this little piglet might be the one to take the queen's place in the future. But why wouldn't Peppa be the new queen, since she's the oldest? That's another mystery. Most likely, it's because our main character is meant to keep being a television star. Mark. Have you noticed the mark on Evie's cheek? It looks like a heart, and it's completely different from the rest of the pig family. And it gets even weirder when you look at both sides of her face. On the left side, Evie's cheek has a heart-shaped mark, but on the right side, it's a round circle, just like everyone else in the family. On the show's official website, there are two images of little Evie, one showing the regular round cheek and another one with the heart shape. So why is that? The first theory is that in the future when Evie grows up, the creators will use that mark to show a difference between her and Peppa, since the two sisters will probably end up looking very similar. Another theory is that Evie might have some sort of health condition that causes the change, which would be very sad if it's true. Will the creators ever explain why this new piglet has a heart-shaped cheek mark? Birth. Did you notice how quickly Evie was born? Mummy Pig said she was pregnant in February 2025, and little Evie was already born by May 20th. That's super strange, right? Usually, babies take 9 months to be born, at least if we're talking about humans, but piglets can actually be born in just 3 months. Even if that's true, the big mystery here is that the characters in Peppa Pig are a mix of pigs and humans, so Evie's super speedy birth feels out of place. Why did it happen like that? The truth might be revealed in upcoming episodes. There are some fan theories that say Evie is the future of the show. That's because there are no other pigs in the show besides Peppa's family, which means they're almost extinct, and that's not good at all. Evie was born quickly because the world of Peppa urgently needs more pigs before something terrible happens. But what do you think about this mystery? Was Evie born too fast, or is fast growth normal for piglets? One thing's for sure, both Peppa and George are still kids, as if time hasn't passed at all in the past 20 years. Does time stand still in Peppa's town? Would you want to live in Peppa's town? Drop a comment with #pig so we can say hi. Growth. Still on the topic of Evie growing up, there's a big mystery about what she'll actually do in the next episodes. She's a brand new character, which means lots of new adventures are coming. What will her first words be? When will she start walking? So many questions that the creators need to answer soon in the show. But does that mean Evie won't be a baby for long? That's actually very likely, because if she doesn't grow up soon, she won't be able to play with her siblings and go on fun adventures with them. And here's the mystery. If Evie stays a baby for the next few years and doesn't ride bikes, play ball, or jump in muddy puddles with her siblings, what will she do besides eat and sleep? Peppa and George. Could Evie's arrival be proof that time is finally going to move forward in the show? Maybe Peppa and George will actually grow up. But the truth is, there's a much bigger mystery. As fans already know, there are at least 6 Christmas episodes in the series, meaning several years have gone by, and yet Peppa, George, and all their friends are still the same age. Eevie joining the show makes us think that maybe things will change, but if not, then the creators might just keep the mystery going. Why doesn't time ever pass? Will we ever get to meet Peppa as a teenager or even as an adult? Is George going to be a 2-year-old piglet forever? This mystery hasn't been solved in over 20 years, so what's really going on in Peppa's world? One fan theory says they're all stuck in a time loop. Do you believe in that theory? Shoes. What happened to Peppa's red shoes? In Season 1, Episode 19, our main character lost her shoes, and in that episode, Mummy Pig bought her a brand new pair. Peppa picked out some really cute red shoes and wore them for a few days, but at the end of the episode, she takes off the gift her mom gave her and puts on some boots instead. That's because the pig family was heading out to jump in muddy puddles, and of course Peppa didn't want to ruin her beautiful red shoes. But after that episode, Peppa is never seen wearing the shoes again, and that's a big mystery. What happened to Peppa's red shoes? Did she lose them? George. Have you ever noticed that we never really find out why George doesn't talk like Edmund? The elephant can express himself just fine, but little George still only says dinosaur, and that was actually his first word. So what's really going on with George? Honestly, maybe nothing is wrong at all. After all, Richard Rabbit, Rebecca's younger brother, also talks the same way George does. But with George, there might be something more to it. There's a chance he could have a real issue when it comes to communication, but the show has never explained what the real mystery is behind Peppa's little brother. Will we ever find out the truth? And hey, will you ever subscribe to the channel? Hit the notification bell for new videos every day! Auntie Pig. There's a big mystery around Auntie Pig, the mother of cousin Chloe and baby Alexander. Have you noticed she's the only pig character who doesn't seem to come from either of the families we already know? There are 2 pig families in Peppa's world, Daddy Pig's side and Mummy Pig's side. Auntie Pig doesn't seem to belong to either one, and because of that, we have no clue where she came from. Plus, no other pig characters have ever shown up in Peppa's world, so where are they? Is there any explanation for this mystery? Aunt Dottie. Still talking about new piglets in the show, could there be a chance that Aunt Dottie has a family in the United States? This character stayed hidden for many years, but does she really live alone? The pig family has already traveled to America, but they never visited Mummy Pig's sister. Why didn't that visit happen when Peppa went to New York? Aunt Dottie definitely doesn't live by herself. We know that because in this show, no characters live completely alone. So there's a real possibility that Aunt Dottie might show up with her family in the future to visit Eevee. But that might take a while, since even by the Thanksgiving episode, she hasn't met George yet. Will Aunt Dottie come visit her brand new niece? We'll find out in future episodes. Daddy Pig's parents. Another mystery has to do with Daddy Pig's parents. Where are they? And why haven't we ever seen a single photo of them? It's possible that these 2 characters are no longer alive, and we might be close to finally learning the truth. Now that Eevee Pig has just been born, Daddy Pig's mom and dad might show up for a visit. It's worth remembering that Daddy Pig was born in the town where the show takes place, because when he was a little piglet, Madame Gazelle was his teacher, so his parents probably don't live very far away. Could they already be gone? Or maybe they live somewhere else. This mystery about the pig family has never been answered. What do you think the truth is? Hair. If you look closely at Eevee, you'll notice she wears a little yellow bow on her head, and that makes us wonder if she might have hair someday. But if that happens, the show's creators are going to have to explain how a piglet suddenly started growing hair. And that would open up a whole new mystery, because no characters in Peppa's world have hair. Will the show's creators ever answer that question? Grandpa the Pirate. And finally, here's one last mystery. Have you noticed that Grandpa Pig might actually be a pirate? His pet is Polly Parrot, and that bird used to be friends with Pirate Redbeard. In the episode Children's Festival, we see a photo of the 2 together. Also on Grandpa Pig's boat, there's a pirate flag, and even though flying one is technically illegal, Peppa's grandpa has no problem showing it off for everyone to see. So is he a real pirate? Maybe the police are even looking for him. And if you're looking for more fun adventures, we've got 2 more videos lined up for you. We'll see you in the next one. Catch you later!